You guys have voted, and here is my theory about what does the man in the wall want. Spoiler alert, you have been warned. If you haven't played all of the quests in Warframe, please make sure you do, and if you want some more concrete information about the man in the wall, please make sure to watch some videos on YouTube, as there's plenty of great content out there. So let's get to it! I have a few theories about what does the man in the wall want, but the main difference between them is actually the power level. We don't really know how powerful is the man in the wall, and I think he can be anything between a parasite to a super powerful god. But I think he's probably in the middle. But what this power has to do with what he could possibly want? Well, I think there's the catch. He's only powerful enough. And he actually needs us to do something. If we think back, probably, or at least as far as we know, Albert Centrati was the first to have contact with the man in the wall. But during that encounter, he only saw himself, which was the man in the wall using his appearance, looking like him and calling him by a name no one alive could possibly know, which was
an old name, unspoken in the centuries since my mother reared me. A soft hiss, soothing as a viper's gaze. Little Bengal.
But this time, when we encountered him, as shown during the New War, he actually made a deal with us. He saved everyone, and for that, in the future, he'll say, we owe him.
You mad at me, kiddo? Did you forget? You owe me.
That's what makes me think that he's not powerful enough. He needs us to do something for him. Something he cannot do. But what can he do? Well, we don't really know, but something we can kind of speculate is that he can access multiple universes, or even maybe the multiverse, as that's kind of what seems like when we do the deal with him. He's kind of creating an anchor or a link between the many universes or realities in which we are pretty much the link, and we ended up dying in many of those universes, but our universe and the Drifter one, these are the ones that survive, and maybe he's able to see through those many universes, just like the Unum does, and so he's able to know what's going to happen and which path or what he should do to get the best outcome for him. And so that we can kind of have an idea of what can he do. He can access the many universes and possibly see what's gonna happen. And another thing that I believe, which we don't really know for sure, is that he only exists within the void, as we haven't seen anything about him outside the void. But how could I say that if we see him in our ship and stuff? But you have to think again about Albert Centrati and how he found the man in the wall, and how he encountered the man in the wall in the first place. He was in his laboratory into the Seri glass bell, and he went through the void. He made it, and he thought he had failed, but he was actually in the void. And there he saw his chimerical twin, which was actually the man in the wall. And why would he be showing up in our ship, in our orbiter? Well, we're pretty much using the void all the time. There is plenty of void energy around our operator, around us, and that It's probably something that can allow him to kinda materialize himself within our ship. And I also think we have to take a look on something like a personality or a behavior about this thing. By far what we saw in the quests, he is a manipulative, intimidating, controlish being.
Are you mad at me, kiddo? Did you forget? You owe me. You owe me. Don't forget, kiddo. You're nothing without me. Without me.
Let's say during the sacrifice, pretty much after you finish the quest, we have that bit of a dialogue.
Feeling better, kiddo? I killed him. Isa. Did you now? Is that how you remember it? Yes. Good.
And the way he talks is as if he already knew what was going on, and he just wanted to make sure what were we thinking, what did we know. And after we speak, he seems pleased, like, I'm in control. I want you to think that. I want you to think like that. Then, during the Chimera prologue, he takes us to Lua. He starts teasing / trying, I don't know, to terrorize us with those lotus shadowy figures. And then he takes us to Ballas, which was mourning about his transformation on the sentient thing he became. And then we get the Paracesis. But that still, for me, feels like a training. He wanted us to go there. He wanted us to get the Paracesis. I think he's actually controlling pretty much everything. He's making us stronger while trying to keep our mind kinda under his control. I want you to get stronger, but I'm still gonna control you. You owe me. And that's kinda how it goes. He made a deal with us, he saved us, and now he's manipulating us, making us stronger. We're doing what he wants. He wants us to get stronger while still keeping some kind of a leash on us. And at some point he's gonna want us to do our part of the bargain. Maybe his contact with Albrecht was the first attempt on getting himself something like a champion, something he could try to manipulate or control, and that was a failed attempt. He even lost a finger on that encounter. And then that's why I think making a deal would kinda, in a way, makes us do our part. He has done his, he saved us, and at some point he's gonna want us to do our part. And maybe everything that's happening in our universe that we are doing and everything he's leading us to is to get the best outcome for him, since he can see through the different universes and see what will work best for him. That's kinda makes me think, are we playing Warframe or are we playing his game? That's kinda what I think. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below.
Armor spreads across the system. Monuments rise to your glory. All who live, bios and not, kneel before you.
But not them!